Hello. I'm gonna move over here so that my wild hair blends in with the tree, I think. Jeez, that's really sticking up there. Um, Hello. So I just wanted to come out and just say, I've always viewed life in this world as a training course, right? That we're just learning and we're just here to study and here to grow and here to expand. And everything that we encounter and everything that we go through is just part of that process. But I was thinking it kind of makes it easier to think of our bodies as like a computer system. And sometimes you need to be upgraded. Sometimes you need to, work with different programs. Sometimes those programs, it takes a while to integrate. And sometimes, the computer programming gets old and then, it's not as compatible with other software, and we need to go in and clean out the viruses and, upgrade and remove storage and all those things. Like, that's how our minds and our bodies work, is that we are just a computer. Our brains they're constantly receiving information. You get downloads, you get upgrades, we're just operating on different software. And if you, instead of looking at people and thinking about like how, somebody's pissing you off and annoying you, and how, there's oh, this person's really irritating me and I can't handle how this person talks, or whatever it is. If you look at it from a perspective of, we're just computer programs and some of us are operating on a different software. Yes, you might get irritated at a computer that's slower and it's having a little bit more trouble like doing what you need it to do. You might be like, oh, why aren't you focusing? Why aren't you doing what you're supposed to do? But you don't really have like a hate for the computer, right? You don't really like look at the computer and like, oh, I hate you. You're just like, maybe I need to switch to a different processing system. Maybe I need to, go get a different computer. But there's no, especially right now, there's such an imbalance with like us versus them, and good versus evil, and all these other opposites. We are all one. We're all a motherboard. We're all on the same system. We just need to sync up and realize that we're all one, and the things that we do affect those around us, and the things that we change about ourselves are felt by the people around us, and the ways that we choose to upgrade, they benefit everybody. And I know that talking about like the group consciousness, or like a collective consciousness, some people might not agree with that, but realistically we are all one. And a lot of times, like, I get a lot of downloads as far as music goes, and which I was going to make a video about that, because I was thinking it's kind of funny, like sometimes when downloads come in, they come in so rapidly, and sometimes I'll just get like a little blurb of something. Like, you'll just be like maybe one verse, not the whole song, just like one verse, and I'll sit with it for a while. Sometimes maybe another blurb will come out, or another verse. Maybe it'll be like what seem like two separate songs, but then they go together, so then I'll kind of combine them together. Sometimes that's all I ever get, is just like one verse. But there have been multiple times that I have sat there with like just one verse that I record on my phone as like a phone recording, a voice memo or something. Or sometimes I'll just write it down on a piece of paper And it sits with me for years and years and years, and I don't do anything with it, right? And then you have an artist that comes out and they create a song that's basically that same little download that I got, right? And it happens all the time. So, and that's what happens with artists, people who are painters, people who are writers, people who are musicians, right? You'll get a download, and sometimes multiple people get that same download. And the universe is just kind of trying to throw it out there, like, who wants to actually act on this? And so then that's why when you get, people like, oh, you stole my song, you copyrighted this, and blah, 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 infringements. Well, the problem is since we are a collective and we share the same mind, sometimes multiple people have gotten the same download, and, maybe they act upon it, maybe they don't act upon it, but we all share that same consciousness. So the things that one person knows, everybody has access to. It's just a matter of like finding the computer program that runs on that same level, but anyways, I was thinking about the fact that like it's with artists, it's really hard to like say that, something is a fresh creative thought, because we all share the same information. It's just a matter of like, some people are listening more intently. Some people actually understand what they're supposed to do with the downloads. And some people, sometimes it's a confidence thing, right? It's like somebody might receive the same download as somebody else, but they're not very confident about trusting it, one, and then acting upon it and sharing what they received, because it feels like scary to put yourself out there. And anyways, but so being a collective consciousness and all of us having the same information, it just means that we're all capable of running the same computer programs. We just might not be running them at the same time and on the same bandwidth, but we don't need to be separating ourselves from people, and we don't need to be creating division, because we are truly all one. We are one with everything around us, and we are one with nature and the animal kingdom. We are one with all of the people around us. And so once we start, when they always say like, be the change that you want to see in the world, what that means is that when you start making those changes within yourself and you start acting in a way that honors those changes that you make, then the world feels it. It's the whole like butterfly wing effect, right? It's like the winds of change that you create are felt throughout the world. And so this is truly the time that we need to be operating on the most recent software. We need to really clean out our systems and be focused on, doing the upgrades that we need to do, and focused on ending the cycle of duality, because we're not separate. We're all the same. And so once we realize the unity consciousness and the fact that we are all the same, and we start making changes and we start realizing that we are all different just aspects of each other, then we can really start affecting change. And I think that that's a really important message to realize, is that, we are we. We are not me. We are not you. We are we. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that reaches who it needs to reach. And I hope that we understand like the severity of that message, and how much power we each hold within ourselves. Okay. Bye.